everybody. What y'all doing over there? Am I too loud? I went back and watched a little bit of that live from earlier. Y'all need to tell me to turn the volume down sometime. Y'all know my voice carry already. I don't need no microphone at all. Hey, everybody. I did not bring a robe in here. I don't know. Let me go get it. And some water. Come on in. Get something. After this, I'm going to go blood hoop and then I'm going to all right, y'all. What y'all doing over here? What y'all doing over here? Hello. Hey, sis. You said FM. We back though, knocking. It is. I was gonna lay down, and then you know how he put a scripture in your mind. How you be like, okay, and then you go read it, and you be like, oh, okay, got it. So we gonna read a little bit, and then I'm gonna go finish. I started on our puzzle, and I haven't finished. You said I've been reading since we got off. Come on now, I ain't gonna tell that lie. I didn't. I did not. I got me some food and a text y'all need. That's too bright. Let's do that. And then I sat and I listened to some music. I took a bath. I've been trying to make sure I calm myself every day and not let this here world get me overwhelmed. Cause they definitely trying to overwhelm us. Hello. I saw you was reading the investor of Michael. I be eavesdropping. Sometimes they let me see y'all stuff, sometimes they don't. But I be when y'all stuff come across my FYP, I be it's a good book, ain't it? We did a study on that. I don't know if you remember. It ain't been too long. I know. I think you might have been in one of the classes for that. That's what like one of the first books we read. In the new book, she said, "Oh, I'm back on the right side of time. You're back on my FYP." Pumpkin, we don't be over here. We didn't been over here, what, about 3 days? We be on YouTube. We coming over here to door knock with y'all like we used to do back in the 80s where you go to a neighborhood and you tell them about the Lord and then you go back to your neighborhood and your church. We door knocking. Uh-oh. I need to put me another trash bag. So, oh yeah, we be on YouTube. That's where we be. And also Substack. We be over there too. If you don't have Substack, you should get it. If you want to look now, do they be playing about showing you we live? Yes, they do. They sure do. And they've been doing it since about October 22. Actually, before then. But we're going to put this right here because I tripped over it earlier because it was in the way. Okay. You said perfect. I do. I'll be there as well. Okay. Yeah, we working up on 2,000 classes over there. We almost got 2,000 classes. We over 1,900. We made 1,900, I think. I don't know when. Sarah knows. She one of the church, I mean, not church because this ain't church. She one of the school secretaries that keep the time, you know. You said I had a door knocker today, but they only spoke Spanish. I was ready though. Your phone translate. There'll be no excuses. The Tower of Babel was undid with all these translators. I got some translator earbuds. I ain't been nowhere for nobody to be talking crazy so I can detect the language. But they got them on Amazon and it's a little app. And then you could, I think they got them for like $16. I didn't have mine since around my birthday or maybe Christmas time. No, I take that back. I bought them last October. Is when I got them. But it's a little app. Well, I can't show y'all, but they got them on Amazon. You won't have that problem no more. Mm-hmm. You said, okay, now I'm glad to see you in multiple places. Hey. So, good evening, good evening. You said I didn't read either. I've been doing micro twists on my hair, still not finished. Listen, I get it. I gotta figure out what's going on with mine. It's real weird right now. I don't know what's going on with my speech and stuff. It's a lot going on around here. We just could leave it. Anyway, so we're gonna wait for the current events. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But do y'all want to read something that's in our normal Bible? You said, "Oh dang, I put you up here in a box that I'm getting together for you." Well, do you the translation earbooks? Do yours need an app? Cause mine, I gotta use an app on. I thank you for thinking of me. Y'all be thinking of me. I got some packages I gotta go pick up. Oh, guess what? And I know, thank you to those of y'all that have already received y'all t-shirts. And y'all ain't did nothing with them yet. I love y'all. Thank you for giving me a chance, because mine is at the thing. If you ordered a t-shirt or you didn't open them, okay. If you or a Jesus bag or whatever, she just put them in the mail. So y'all probably getting y'all stuff. Some of y'all get y'all stuff before me. Um, but yeah, the Jesus bags is on the way. You know, she took our school picture, the puzzle, and did a design behind it. So our class picture is on our shirt. So you can get a t-shirt or a hoodie with the class picture on it, if that's what you want. And or you can get it on the little tote bag thing. I ain't gonna say little because I don't know how big it is, but when they get here, I'll show y'all. But of course, we won't be able to do it on here. It'll be on Substack. I absolutely love my t-shirt, and it's green. You said, so what's beautiful? I'm still waiting on 2 items. Oh, so you didn't got yours already? I ain't, girl, mine at the PO box. You said, I didn't see that. How about I found out we live in the same city? Y'all live in the same city. Yeah, I told you. Well, I said y'all close. I didn't want to tell her business, but I think I mentioned that to you once. I said, "Oh, you right over there by." Mm-hmm. So anyway, if you need you a Jesus bag, I said that's gonna work out for me, because when I be carrying books from in here to in there, that's what's gonna be in there, and all my girl, it's okay. Listen. The amount of knowledge that you all have absorbed in the last 2-3 years, and I'm not just talking about from class, I'm talking about in your own studies. Do y'all realize how much information God is giving you in a very short amount of time? Do you understand? We didn't just study the Bible for 4 years straight. We studied every freaking subject you could possibly study. You said, and I mind my own business and do. It's not too much people to talk to you about that you can't talk to. You got a story, you got a lesson you didn't study. I don't care what it is. Food, culture, international stuff, everything. Because again, when I got over here, I told y'all, I said, listen, God will teach you as much as you want to know. But he's not going to force you to take information. Who agrees now? The more you want to know, the more he tells you. If he tells you and you don't listen, he's not going to completely quit talking to you, but you won't get as much information. If you refuse to take one word and look up as much information as you can about it, why should he give you anything else? You don't want it. Okay, can we use an example? Can we? Say, for instance, I hid 11 grand in this room right here. Hey, and I say to each of you, look, That's the only instruction I'm going to give you is look. But you know for a fact it's $11,000 hid somewhere in this room. I'm not going to give you any more instructions, or I'm not going to give you any hints. I'm not going to tell you if it's in a check, if it's in a cash, if it's cash, if it's broken up. I'm not going to tell you any of that. All I'm going to do is tell you to look. But you know for a fact there is verified proof that there's $11,000 in here somewhere, and if you can find it, you can have it. You said right. Why is your niece was listening in class earlier, running around telling her brother he's sinning with gluttony because he won't share with her? Hilarious. You know what? That's right, niece. Tell him the Lord said share with the people that don't got as much as you. You got 2 pieces of chicken on that plate. I agree with her. I agree wholeheartedly with her. Jesus broke up some fish and bread and fed thousands. So yeah, tell him, see, God could have multiplied. Tell him next time, say, God can multiply what you got on your plate if you share with me. You listen. Ain't that crazy? These kids be ear hustling, and they be using what they learn in class. Hello. Sound like something her TT say. And do. She said, hey, Jesus shared with the masses. You need to share with me. That's good. That's real good. That should make you feel happy. Kids can learn a lot of stuff right now. But if they're picking up any of the things that you're learning here, that you're studying on your own, it's not just recorded, repeated information. They can take anything that you teach them here, or anything that they hear, or anything that they see you reading, and take that subject as far back as they want to. Yeah. Have you all noticed, if y'all let y'all kids touch the books, that they go looking because it's available for them now? Or even in what they watch and what they're seeing, that it's not just watching a show no more. They done said enough with you and watch you point out and look up stuff. Excuse me, to where now they're doing it on their own. Mama, did you know? Daddy, did you know? Grandma, did you know? They start teaching you. Hello. Hey. They start teaching you. That's why it's good to let them see you study. And it's good to let them see you looking up words and finding a book and then finding a movie about it and comparing it. Because then they don't just take anybody's word. They know how to go and look for themselves. It's too many followers right now. Don't believe me? Y'all about to get mad at me. Quiet on the creek. One person can set the tone, girl. See? You said, yeah, she didn't seen someone make honey out of flowers and just told me she want to try it. Come on. You said, oop, I understand. Okay. You know what? I think I'm just put my shield right here because the question I'm about to ask Mike. Okay, y'all ready? So let's just do a hypothetical, shall we? Y'all want to do a hypothetical? Do you? A hypothetical situation. Would you like to do one with me? Okay. If you were only judged on how you influenced people, seeing as how influence is a big thing. What they used to call it back in the day was, what they would say was, who has bewitched you. That's what they used to say in the Bible days. Who has bewitched you, nigga? What's wrong with you? You're not acting yourself. You don't talk like that. You as a parent know that if your kid come home saying or doing certain things, they picked it up somewhere. You said tomorrow is my birthday, so go easy. You said go easy on everybody today on behalf of me. Hilarious. Well, happy birthday early, Nisi Poo. Come on, listen. Okay, if you get judged for how you influenced people and what you influenced them to do, what would your judgment look like? Say you didn't get judged on, like, whatever. If God judged, he said, okay, you came in contact with 11,000 people in your life. And when you cuss this one out at the store, you made them then do this. Give me a minute. I'm saying. Not now. You know I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about prior to you getting a real relationship with God. If you were just judged on how you influenced people and the things that you influenced them to do, what would your level of influence or what would be the scope? You said, yeah, I'll be on fire. Forgive me. Come on. And what I'm asking is, what are the wrong things that you encourage people to do? What they look like? Let's do some reenactment, shall we? Hey, fuck it. Hello? I'm just sitting here. Okay, wait. Calm down. Calm down. You said what? You said, huh? Oh, okay. They didn't pull it up. Who? Oh, okay. Tell them stay right there. You said what? Nah, you already know what it is. Huh? No. Tell them stay right there. I'll be over there because you already know what I'm about. Did you influence them to diffuse the situation? Or hold on 1 second. Somebody, yeah. No, nigga. No, I said, I don't even know where y'all been on. Don't worry about what it look like. or, you said, that's why I said, don't call me. No, calm down. Okay, hold on. Jesus. No. Lord, please bring peace. God. Okay, go in the back room. Call the police. Get somebody. The blood of Jesus. God, I need you to bring a spirit, put an angel in front of the door. God, I might not be able to get there fast enough, but I need you to send warring angels around the situation until I can get there. We gonna talk about it? What did it look like? And we all have our moments, especially if somebody messing with somebody we love, but did you influence them to go somewhere and get in a closet and pray? Or did you influence them to go another way? Which way? Shall we do another? Let's. What's up? Why are you whispering? Be quiet. Well, what is you doing? You where? Where is your spouse at? You said don't talk loud. They don't know you have one. If they call me, tell them you over here. Wait a minute. What's happening? What are you doing? You said don't say nothing? Okay, so this is role play. Girl, I ain't gonna say nothing, gonna hear it. Oh, nigga, I'm gonna dab you up when I see you, nigga. I see you. I see you. Huh? But it could have been, hey, I know you probably already spent your money, but you need to get out of there. You ain't did nothing yet? Okay, good. You need to go home. No, for real, this is a bad idea. You about to throw away everything. Do you even know this person that well? You said I done been on both sides of the influence. You just met him. This is a bad idea. That's why you called me. And I'm going to pray that God don't let it work out for you. I need you to go home. Right now. They going to be waiting on you. Don't do this. Think about your kids. You said every time you get on this here live, I find something else to repent for. Girl, me too. Listen, I came on here to talk to y'all about something else. I don't know how this keeps like going left. I got my thing of what we about to talk about. We got two things. I don't even know how we got over here. This gotta be for somebody. Y'all know how to go. Go home. Don't make the lefts and the rights. Go home. Go home. I know they text and they called. Block their number right now and go home. Because if not, it might cost you everything. And sometimes that can be your children living without you and you're not here anymore. Sometimes that can be you don't know that it is a trap for you and the devil plans to set you up and destroy everything that you ask God for. Go home. Don't go. Go get in your bed with your spouse. It don't matter. Okay? Because it just going to be you that's affected by this one-off or sneaking and creeping and whatever else. Don't put your life or your soul in jeopardy, because if you die in fornication, if you die in adultery, baby, you going to stand up an adulterer. Them people that died in them snap situations, when they stand up in front of God, okay, especially if it's instant death, you don't have time to repent. People don't want to talk about that. They want to, oh, God forgive you, God forgive you. What about that time that he gave you the feeling in your stomach and he said, don't you do this? And you ignored it. And then you got in the car and it wouldn't start and you ignored it. He was trying to save your life. Save your health. Save your family. You said, for real, get on here with the hammer. Uh-oh. I'm just saying. Is it worth it to say you popped off and it's a situation you can't never change for the rest of your life? Make it make sense. The devil always baits us out with something that looks like it's valuable, and then we find out it's a rock with some cheap gold paint on it. He said, I have this gold nugget for you, and you say, oh, it's shiny. He said, yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. Look, a field of them. He done been out there all night like this. Flip it over. No, put a little sparkle on that one so the sun, when it hits it, Good job. They'll think this is real gold. You get out. You said God told me don't touch my ex. I did, and I was homeless for 3 years with him. Sound, sound about right. Sound about right. Sound about right. Yeah, because that's about 2009 to 2012. Sound about right. Yeah, that sounds about that sounds about right. Hmm. 3 summers, 3 falls, 3 winters, and three springs. Yeah, sound about right. And I don't even know that my garden is all the way healed from the trauma it went through from the tsunamis and the tornadoes tearing up everything, and then it was flooded, and then it was real dry, and then I don't know. It might take this land a little bit to come back, huh? It got to sit barren for a minute. Don't even mess with it. Just leave it. Mm-mm. You said, and do a little glitter, or really make it sparkle. Come on. You said Shaniqua right, because when you said when you think you just got here, you said, there goes something else. You said, but I'm grateful because I be forgetting about some past situations that need repentance. Listen, girl. Okay, so then I might as well just bring on the hammer. All right, we've already studied this, but it's even more relevant now. I think I don't know how many times we've gone over it, but I was sitting in the. You know what? The light is on. Okay, the light is on. Are you ready to enlighten your mind? The light is on. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Are you ready to rumble? Hi, Sarah. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. When you walk with the Lord, He don't let you be nothing else. The Lord don't let you wear costumes. Have you noticed? He's all about the exposure of it all. You synced it? Have you felt it? Hopefully, since being here, you feel exposed. Hey, no, you don't like being exposed? Y'all don't want to talk about it. You're in your feelings? Good job, because we're going to tap dance on them a little bit more. Hello. That's my job. I got my tap shoes on. You said I love that book lamp. It's genius, Sarah. My toes is wiggling now because I didn't open it. Y'all hear them popping? Lit. They popping, nigga. Cause yeah. We just opened up that book light, and it makes my toes wiggle, and evidently Sarah's too. We just opened up the book light. Y'all hear it? That's my toes. When I get excited, normally they're grabbing in the carpet like this. So, you said mine sound the same, Sarah. These feet were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. Listen, they didn't walk close to heaven and right on down the hill too. You hear me? Listen, you said, "Oh my God, Auntie, I haven't seen you in forever. I thought you was gone off this app." We was. We've been on YouTube though. We wasn't going off all the apps. Hey, Pumpkin. So, y'all want to go over here or what? Cause we got a few things we gonna talk about, but you know, listen, these feet done took me a lot of places. You heard me, and some of them was dark. They were dark places. But I thank God for bringing me to the light. Hello. If you can go that hard in sin, this should be a cakewalk for you. Hey, I mean, because people they want to get over here to God and act like, oh, woe is me. When you was in the, when you was in the world, baby, you would take a licking and keep on ticking, and you want to get over here and fall down a wall every 2 days. No. Hey, sister. Uh, you want to get over here and every time your little feelings get hurt, you want to act like you didn't get embarrassed and fought on and all kinds of crazy stuff. Back in the world, the devil, he'll beat up on you, be like, well, it wasn't that bad. Jesus tap dance on your forehead a little bit, and now you broke down and got an attitude. Get up. Somebody got to stand up. Hello. I know he didn't soften your heart a little bit, but strengthen your back. Y'all remember when stand up? Come on. Y'all know that workout machine where you put it under your legs. You put your legs on there and you gotta lift yourself up and then down and then up and then down to build your core. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And if you don't do it right, you will hurt yourself. But y'all know what I'm talking about? You put your hips on that one part and it's all like upper body strength, just bringing yourself up and down like that. Not backward, You know what I'm talking about? Yes, I don't know the name of it either. But if you know this machine, it works your abs right. Okay. So if you try to do a lot and your core is not strong, you're gonna tire out. You might not be able to do much. Because in anything you do, the core needs to be solid, right? An apple. Do you want a mushy core of an apple when you bite into it? Huh? You don't want that. Because then that means something wrong with it. It's too mushy. You don't want that. Right. Right. Okay. It's just like that with us in our walk with Christ. That's what Jesus came to do, to strengthen your core. He takes out all the defects. And if you know anything about metals, right? They have to take the dross out and all of these different things, the things that can make weak points in the metal. Okay? So that the metal is strong enough to hold or to do whatever it needs to do. And again, we know you have to heat it up and cool it off and all these different things. But it's to get out the impurities. Okay? When Jesus puts you on blast, that's what he's doing. And he don't got to put you on blast to the world. He can nudge you on your shoulder and say, I don't like when you do that. I don't like when you say that. I don't like when you act like that. Okay? And that's him purifying you. That's him getting your core strong. It might hurt your feelings. Why you talk to me like that? Because I don't like it. It doesn't represent me well when you do it. And we all got stuff. Okay? Nobody ain't perfect. Everybody got to get to their, point where they want to please God. Because at first when you start walking with God, you feel like everything is punishment. He said he takes us through the fire to purify us. He does. That's why the earth is getting ready to burn this last time, Nico. Okay? It's a real thing. But he wants you to be strong in him. So he takes out all the things that the world has put in you that make you weak. And you get your strength from him training you on what to do and how to do. And so the next time that the sin knocks on the door, you can say no. The next time it ring your phone, you won't answer. If it sends you an email, a Snapchat, a swipe up, you won't even go that way. Because you understand that is going to create another weak point in whatever it is that God is trying to strengthen in your life. It is. Hello. In real life. The stuff that doesn't feel good is him pulling it out. It's just like surgery. Sometimes you got to get cut on in order to get to what's messed up so you can mend it. You said one step forward. But is it really 2 steps back, Sarah? You said, wow, it's been so long since, hey, because we be on YouTube. You said he has strengthened me to say no, to set boundaries, because I was a people pleaser. Come on. So you're stronger. It's not saying that you're not going to be gentle with people, but you're wise. People think that because you're nice and kind or sweet or whatever else it is, that you're stupid, but you're not. Just because I try to be kind to everybody, nice to everybody, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Respectful. People think that you won't bust them in the head today. Why me? I don't know why. Is there not a scripture in the Bible where Jesus told the disciples, right now while I'm with you, you don't need your swords? But since I'm about to go away, how many swords y'all got? You got a sword? You got a sword? You got a sword? You got a sword? Everybody got a sword? Good. You're going to need it. Did he not tell them to pick their swords up after? They did. He did. He said, right now, while you with me, you don't need it. Could that be because he had legions of angels with him all the time? He said, but as soon as I leave, because the legions of angels go where he goes, not that there weren't protection angels left here for us, okay? But these specific angels, no, they go where I go. It's my security team, even though he don't need it. They go on missions for me, so they got to stay with me. But I do, the Lord has more than one army. Huh? And when we say that there's angels of the water, that means he has a navy as well, does it not? He has angels that can traverse the water. He has angels that can traverse the air, and he has angels that do groundwork. Ain't that the 2 or 3 sections of our military? Our military is built on his military and how he set up ranks and whatnot. So whatever we have down here is just a mirror image of what he already has, or not even a mirror image, but a piece of what he already created. It's funny that a lot of people say when they were drowning or whatever else, that a man came down in the water, or a woman came down in the water and saved them and dragged them ashore and then just disappeared. And they really didn't see their face. And then when the person finds how far they had drifted out and how deep, because they was looking for them and they couldn't find them, well, where'd the person go? The Coast Guards and all of those people are just a physical representation of what God has been doing for a long time. He already has those things. Hello. How many times have y'all seen a story about somebody getting saved? Their car was on fire. Somebody snatched them out, and when the news people got there, there was nobody there. And they say, I can describe their face to you. Can I play something for y'all real quick? I'm gonna do it. Some of y'all might have seen it already. All my devices is. Amen. So what was we studied yesterday or the other day about seeing angels in the flesh. And then as soon as I got off of here, I saw this. I said, that's interesting. What's it say? No. Here it go. Y'all might have already seen this. And they look just like people. When I walked in, there were 4 angels standing in the chamber, and they looked just like people on the street. When I walked in, there were 4 angels standing in the chamber, and they looked just like people on the street. When I saw them, I was rather stunned, and I was going to ask, how did you get in here, or something to that effect, but I found I couldn't move or talk or nothing like that. So one of them instructed me to set up a video camera and aim it at the Ark of the Covenant. They went over, each took a corner of the mercy seat, lifted it up, and said, take the tables of stone out of the Ark of the Covenant. God wants everyone to see those. So I went over and I took it out. I wasn't able to move until he told me to do these things. And so they put the lid back on and the mercy seat. What do you think? We just talked about this. I said we just like literally in the first 30 seconds of that he says that they look just like right. I said we just talked about this. Ain't that crazy? You just saw it today. Me too. Okay. Me too. This is the same one. Hey, I'm doing good. This is the same account. I just took my pictures off. We still on YouTube. You said that happened to my cousin when his car ran off the road and hit a tree, and the person who got him out was not nowhere to be found. You said, and he only had a small scratch in real life. It's a real thing. Either you believe. Oh, thank you. Either you believe that when God says you never know when you entertain an angel, or you don't. Okay? Either you believe it's angels on here, just like the people in Jesus' days used to run into angels and they didn't know. They just thought they was walking with like the book of Tobit. The book of Tobit is a really good example of how easily it could happen. You ain't never been walking nowhere, ran into nobody, and just something was off, right? If you've been here a while or been here a long time, we know we don't ask about what's going on in other people's body parts. Because if I was to ask you a personal question like, have you, I don't know, ever had an STD, something that's going on the inside of your body? Okay, well, we shouldn't. We shouldn't ever think that it's okay to ask what's going on in another person's body parts, ever. It's not okay. You said that happened to my mom and sister after a car accident. My mom said she didn't know where he went. I believe it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, we run into the Book of Tobit. We run into people that make us feel weird, right? And we don't know why. Or they might randomly say something to us or whatever, and it's like they come at a specific time, okay? And you be like, this is weird. Like they just show up. They might give you directions. It's a number of things that can happen, okay? But how do you know that they were human? And I'm not talking about aliens. I'm talking about, how do you know that the being that you were dealing with, how do you know for a fact that they are human? How do you know? You don't. They hide all the books where it talks about these human angel interactions. Okay? Okay? They hide all the books where you can see the stories where more people actually have more interactions with angels than we knew. But if I only want you to think of these things, then I'm only going to put those stories in the Bible. But the book of Tobit is Tobias, Tobit. It'll help you think about all the random interactions you had on the street, in buildings, everywhere. Like, I knew it was something to that person. I knew I wasn't tripping. All the hair stood up on your body. It's a number of things that can happen. And you'll be thinking like, I don't know, I might be tripping. No, you're not tripping at all. You're not. You are not. So, anyway, before it gets too late, let's do this. So, I need y'all to go to Ezekiel 33, please. Please and thank you. You said, and that's why they put those who have seen and said, I'm in the middle. They in the mental facilities. Right. Good seeing you too. Yeah, I told y'all. That's okay. If you watch The Magicians or the show Evil, either one of those, or the show The Exorcist, can you see it? If you watched either one of those shows, skipping over the crazy parts, it shows you that the forces of darkness are real. I was watching something the other day about Louisiana. It was New Orleans PD. You said some of them can see them and people can't. Baby, I know. That's my own, let everybody in my house. I told y'all what I seen. I be seeing and stuff, and I don't like it. So I just don't be trying to look people. That's funny too, cause people be like, if a person don't look you in their eyes, no nigga, I don't care what you say, cause if it's crazy stuff in there, I get to see what's under your skin, and I don't want to see that. And so yeah, if I look at you and I see something crazy, I'm putting my head down, nigga, cause I don't want you to see my eyebrows go up like, oh, I don't want you to know that I know. I sure will. I sure will. So I was watching New Orleans PD and I saw something. I said, wait a minute. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, it's in a whole bunch of our books, but this is, I think it's in the Signs and Symbols book. I think so. I know it's in here too, and I keep saying that because it is, because they put the same symbols in all the same places. Oh, no. Hold on. Yes. Okay, so I saw this, and it was like, I've never been to Louisiana, but the symbol, I said, wait a minute. I wonder how many different places this symbol is in, because we've seen it a lot in different things. I was like, what the heck? So like cutting the grass, I don't know if it's I don't know if it is a thing down there to cut that, but it kind of looked like a labyrinth. And it was like cutting the grass, going down like a pathway or something. And I'm like, that's strange. And it was, you could see, and then coming out of it, it looked like a key, like the Vatican. And I was like, what the heck? Why would they cut that in the grass or whatever the whatever that little space was, and they was investigating a homicide there. And I was like, that's interesting. So it kind of looked like this. Page, girl, pay attention. What the? Give me a second, y'all. That's why I be marking stuff. Okay, here we go. So the pattern kind of look like this right here. But that's the Westinghouse symbol. This symbol is on a lot of y'all clothes. This is on all the kids' toys. This is, as a matter of fact, this is our glitter right here. You see it? And we see these symbols all the time. These are all different kinds of symbols. I know this is in the Southwest a lot. We know this symbol. This symbol we see a lot too, right there. This we see a lot. We see this a lot. We see this a lot. And the crazy thing is, this is a letter in a couple of the different languages that we see, that, right? So I'm wondering, are these at a specific ley line as to why they put that gematria there, or that symbolism there? It gotta be. Maybe this is why certain intersections and stuff, because think about the little things that they put in the middle. They always have some type of design, some type of metal in it. It's not always just flowers, like the medians and stuff that be in certain areas. You said the one on your wall hangs on yours. Interesting. You said somebody made that for me. This one of our students. I don't even know if they go here anymore, but that's handcrafted. Like there's literal like real. I can't move it because yeah, it's cool, right? But yeah. Anyway, those symbols. It was cut in the grass, and I thought that was interesting because they were showing the aerial view of it, and I'm like, dang. Why did they put that specific thing there? I've seen it in crop circles too. But why would you specifically cut it there and design that area like roundabouts? Pay attention, like take your time and go look at the aerial view of your roundabouts. Like if they put in a lot of roundabouts in your city, just look at the design, the total design, and it's gonna look like that glitter pattern a lot of times that I showed you. It's real weird. Okay, with the circle in the middle. Okay, all these symbols and stuff around us, and we don't be paying no attention. We just be going on. You said they are, and I didn't like it. You did it? Mm-mm. It's very interesting, isn't it? Make you wonder why certain things happen at certain times. When the moon is at a certain angle. If you look at your city from an aerial view, like, you'll see something. You say, yes, I have seen that sign in the grass in a movie and a show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And because we don't go deeper into stuff, you said Carmel, Indiana is the capital of roundabouts. Interesting. Interesting. They all downtown Indy too, though. I didn't know they had put that little bus thing in there, the whatever, the little van. All the one-way streets and all of that stuff that used to be cool, they done changed that up. It's hard to get downtown and get to. Used to be able to smash through the hood, no problems. Hello. Now they done made it difficult. 4 lefts and 2 rights, and then you gotta go all the way around and go. This is stupid. You can't even get through the hood like you used to no more. It's crazy. They did that on purpose. Anyway, come on. We going to, y'all, I got this patch on my knee. Thank you, T. Because, baby. Anybody else having achy bones? You said they are putting up so many roundabouts down here. It's ridiculous. I never paid attention to the patterns. Please do. It means something. Okay. Who watched Evil? You watched Evil? Okay. Remember these symbols? And remember what they stood for? These are sigils. And they have the names of angels around. The angel's name is here. So just like we have our wax stamps, right? No, that's not cool. Those are used to summon. All angels ain't good. Remember that. Lucifer is still a fallen angel. Right. Those are fallen angel symbols. Don't, yeah. You said, we just said the word interesting at the same time my kids were saying we time and hilarious. Okay? So look, if you've ever watched the show Evil, and there are some parts you're gonna have to like go past because y'all know how TV is nowadays, okay? Just skip over that part. Anyway, in there, those sigils had a lot to do with everything that was going on in the world. Did they not? I mean, literally. And they were finding people with certain sigils on their bodies, okay? And the people that were worried about these sigils was trying to bring the Antichrist into the world. Those sigils are places in your city, and you don't even know what you're looking at. And so then, I hate to say this, but there are pastors that was telling people, don't watch that show, don't look at that, don't let that into your spirit. Do you realize when people tell you that, that means you're a sitting duck for the enemy? If you don't understand spiritual warfare and your pastor does not allow you to study spiritual warfare, how will you know what spiritual warfare looks like? How will you know how the enemy works against you? If you don't even understand, because everybody want to holler Satan this and demon that, but demons have names, so much so that there are with big thick books with the names of legions, because they're, oh, a legion, a legion. Do you know any of the legions names, their ranks, or anything? Do you know what that specific demon, other than the ones that are listed in the Bible, that everybody, the succubus, the incubus, Asmodeus, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Baal. Okay, but what does a legion mean? Each and every soldier in our armed forces has a name and a rank and a job. So people be talking about, oh, I'm in spiritual warfare. How you fighting it? What you doing? Do you even know the spirit that's coming against you? Have you studied how they move? Have you studied how they infiltrate? So what were you fighting? Have you understood a strategy? Because every demon don't come out the same way. Every demon don't flee from the same. It's a way to do it. Yelling and screaming ain't always gonna get it. You said, I seen a demon fight a girl in my high school and we were freaked out. People don't listen. Superhuman strength is what? Can you give me the definition of superhuman strength or supernatural strength? Can you go online and bring it here and tell me what they say about supernatural strength? And then also, because it's relevant, look up what happens when a human blacks out. Those two things are very relevant to each other and to spiritual warfare. I'm about to show you some. What is superhuman or supernatural strength? What is the definition of that? What do they tell us in Webster's or wherever you go get it from? What do they say? Thank you. Hey, you were invited by a friend. Well, I'm happy you came, Essence. Welcome. Outside of known laws of science? Interesting. The ability to have power beyond what science can explain. Anybody ever worked in a hospital or around mental patients? People with mental illness? Even with people with disabilities, because they be talking about whatever. No, they be strong, nigga. They be strong, nigga. What is you talking about? Huh. Superhuman strength is described as feats or force, speed, or endurance that exceed normal human biological limitations. Mm. Mm. Can you give me the definition of a human blackout? You said it's typically attributed to mythical entities or supernatural beings. Oh, so there's something else there. Got it. Or it can serve as a metaphor for extraordinary mental and spiritual endurance. Extraordinary, which means it's not normal again. Extraordinary is you can't do it by yourself. Temporary loss of consciousness, true blues. Okay? Okay. A temporary loss of consciousness. Okay? Have you ever heard somebody say, I was so mad everything went black? And I don't remember after that. And a person that's on the outside knows when their eyes go black because you can feel it and you can see it. There's something changed, nigga. They not here no more. Somebody else is in there with them. Okay. Okay. Have you ever known a person that blacks out under the influence? And not just they wake up the next morning from whatever influence they were under and they say, I don't remember nothing I said. And you're trying to tell them what they did to you, and they said, no, I didn't. And now we have video recorders, so you can record it and say, but you did, because here you go. I would never do that to you. Man, I was drunk. I don't remember none of that. Why don't you? You know why you don't? Because if you're blacked out, that means you're knocked out and something else supernatural is using your body. Because how are you blacked out, but you talking, driving, beating somebody, verbally assaulting somebody, but you blacked out? You said blackouts when a person remains awake and active, but the brain temporarily stops recording memories. Could it be because it's not you doing it? Is that why you don't remember? Because it wasn't you? Because a supernatural entity took over your body, a spirit, and you don't have to drink and smoke for that. Rage and anger can allow that same spirit into you. Depression can allow that same spirit into you. That you're knocked out, sleep somewhere in a closet of your mind, and that demon is wreaking havoc in your life. Hello. Interesting. You said my husband and I videoed him. You said they're not behind the wheel. They are not. You said my identical twin nieces have autism and they're super strong. Come on. Okay. Yeah. You said also the Holy Spirit in churches. The Holy Spirit do give you strength, and sure do. And sure do. You said all it needs is a window to be invited in. That part. Ain't that crazy? And they don't even sometimes need to be invited in because the enemy ain't waiting for you to tell them to come through the door. You said also meds. When I used to give my son meds, he would be super strong. Eyes are the window to the what? Exactly, the soul. And we learned that most medicine is named after demons, so that perfectly lines up, doesn't it? It makes perfect sense as to why as soon as you ingest it, all of a sudden you are not the same person. Interesting. And you start doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Well, that's what happens when you under a spell. Witchcraft. You said my husband, I used to think he was lying until I spent a bunch of money and told him that he told me I could. And he was like, oh, I remember. You said, so now he don't drink no more. That part. He said, wait a minute, I told you you could spend all the money. Don't even worry about it. You didn't know that? Medicine is named after demons? It is. We did classes about that way 4 years ago. The root word for pharmacy is pharmakia. Pharmakia means spells, incantations, uh, magic, poison. Yeah, interesting. Your root word for medicine literally means spells and incantations. Incantations is to call up something. When you incant something, you are bringing up something or bringing in something. Enchanted, incant, enchant. It's a spirit. It's you're bewitched. Yeah, 100%. And because y'all pastors won't let y'all go study the names of demons, you don't know that everything in your cabinet is named after one. And that's why, now think about it, y'all can call me crazy, but we did studies on this. What's on the side of your medication? Side effects. The Bible says one spirit comes in and he brings 7 other evil spirits with him, and the man's condition is worse off than it was at first. The side effects of your medicine can be more detrimental to your health than the reason that you even taking a pill. Hello? And if the medicine is named after demons, oh, okay, makes sense. So the root word for medicine is magic, spells, incantations, or poison. Pharmacy gives out a prescription, like when you go to a witch. She tells you, I need you to bring me all of these things. I need the eye of newt. Now, we know these is herbs, but they take your stuff and then they do some chemistry on it, run tests on it, drop their stuff on it to see what your blood is missing and all of this and this and that and the other. And then they write a prescription and they tell you, go over here and get this little pressed powder pill. And then boom, that's the same thing that you do at the witch house. She needs some of your DNA in order to better assess you, like pee or a tooth or some skin cells or a biopsy or. And the more that you go to the witch, the sicker you get. Y'all done seen the scary movies. Every time a witch give you something, you giving up something. Sometimes it's an ear, sometimes it's an arm, sometimes it's your sanity, sometimes you start growing a tail. It's all kind of stuff going on when you get medicine. Spells from a witch. Never mind. You gonna be in your right mind, start seeing skeletons on people's faces and bugs crawling on the ground and snakes in your bed. Interesting. Ain't that what happened when you under a spell? I thought so. Or another voice can speak out of your voice and your eyes go black and then you snap out of it and we be like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Ain't nothing happened. But Pfizer doll didn't came up. I'm making up a name. He didn't came up to the surface and blacked you out. Okay? And then blacked you out and then cussed your mama out, then made you quit your job, and all of these things to cause trouble and strife and chaos in your life, and you keep paying for it. Amen. You hear me? You said my husband was drinking Fireball whiskey with a literal fire-breathing demon on the bottle, and that bottle was taken over. Listen, you say, yep, weapons. Listen, Eve's Bayou, etc. Ain't that crazy? How we just been asleep our whole life? We've been asleep our whole life, for the most part. No, I haven't. Uh-uh. But my daughter told me about it. We talked about all of the. You don't remember when we went through all of the perfumes and we saw how they were all named after a sin? Either the symbol on there was named after a sin, or like obsession. Y'all know we went through all of them. Seduction. These are all, the Bible talks about seducing spirits. It talks about being obsessed, overly obsessed with things. It taught all of the name of the perfumes, envy, all of that. You said, I remember that blew my mind. Right. Right. We didn't studied all of that. He wished to, I know. I know. I don't know if you was here when we talked about blood magic. And a lot of people be participating in blood magic and don't even know it. When men are with a woman on her cycle, that's a ritual. That's a whole ritual, married or not. That is a ritual. You cannot play with blood at all. Come on, you know what? Let's go on and read what we about to read right now. All movies had witches in them that require access to personal belongings to do the spell, right? Mm-hmm. You said the book of Revelation talks about the angel that introduced makeup to mankind. It's also in Enoch as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why the football players shouldn't put it under their eyes, or none of the sports guys, because they definitely be painting their faces with stuff, you know? Hunters put face paint on their face too. You know, kind of like people be putting masks on to make you think they one thing and they really ain't. They got a mask on, it's something else. I thought you was a good person. Whole time you the devil. All right, let's keep going. Ezekiel 33. Can you go to the NIV version, please? Never mind. You said they must have taken your page down. I haven't seen you in months. No, I'm not any of that. Actually, we've been on YouTube. Y'all don't be listening, I think. Because way before we ever even got off of TikTok, for over probably 6 months, I was telling people that y'all, if you're gonna be looking for us, and we're gonna be on YouTube, and then y'all gonna come back and say y'all been looking for us, and we've been on YouTube the whole time. Mm-hmm. I told everybody for a very long time. It wasn't a short time that I was telling people. And we've been on YouTube the whole time. Every day. We've got almost 2,000 classes. Mm-hmm. You said I just pop up, I stay on. Yeah. We've been having class. We ain't stopped. We new to this. We not true to it. And we didn't got so deep down in this thing. It's crazy. No more surface stuff for us. Raise your hand and say, no more surface biblical things for me. Anything, as a matter of fact. We didn't study so much stuff. My toes is wiggling. Y'all can't hear them popping, but they're wiggling right now. We just did a whole thing right now. No more surface stuff, baby. It's too juicy over here, honey. We be eating steak and stuff. It be real good. We are no longer on the milk. Huh? You know how the Bible say, come up off the milk and go to the meat of the word? It's so many people feel like they've been in church 97 years, so they got the meat, and them niggas is still on Similac. No more surface. I'm CERCA TROVA. The same thing over there. Our name is the same. The same YouTube we've had since May the 3rd of 2022. Steak and potatoes, nice and seasoned. Come on. We've been in class. We got Substack too, so again, it's all over there. We in the same place. We ain't went nowhere. Ezekiel 33. Let's talk about it. I need you to write Watchmen down on your paper. We did do this, but we just about to run through here real quick. It ain't gonna take long because we didn't already read most of it. But let's look here. You ready? Let's do it. Okay. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, speak to your people and say to them, when I bring the sword against a land, the people of the land choose one of their men and make him their watchman. Okay? Listen to this. God said, I give you time to prepare for what's coming. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? It wasn't like it just fell on your lap. He said, when I'm going to bring the sword against the country, I start telling my people, find somebody to watch and pay attention. I'm going to give you time to find you a watchman that can get up to the tower and let y'all know when the enemy is coming. When he make a decision, he's going to warn somebody. He's going to tell somebody about what he's about to do. Do we have to? No. But he's a loving and just God, and he wants us to be okay. So he going to send somebody to warn you about the war or the chaos or the whatever it is that you're about to go through. Okay? And he can use whatever he wants. Hello. And the people of the land choose one of their men and make them their watchmen. And he sees the sword coming against the land. And the watchman sees the sword coming against the land. Let me ask you a question. Whether you own your house, rent, it don't matter. If you saw me come into your house, standing at your door in front of your camera like this, telling you to knock on the door, and you saw me walking up with this in my hands, you just gonna open the door for me? If my neighbor, okay? Do you hear me? If my neighbor saw you or me, your neighbor, saw me walking down your street, would you want them to warn me if they saw me turning up in your driveway going to your door? I'm marching. Face turned up. Do you hear me? And I turn on your line and I'm walking up your driveway. Would you, if your neighbor was sitting outside, would you call me? Hey, some crazy persons, they got what look like an old school dagger in their hand. Hey, is your door locked? The windows down? You might want to look at your cameras. Okay? They let you know something, danger is on the way. Interesting. So God in every area is going to have somebody. It could be somebody at your job. It could be somebody on the street. It could be the bus driver. It could be the person that's listening to CERCA TROVA on the bus right now. They on the train in New York and forgot their headphones, and they didn't know that this class, yes, it's for you on the train, but it's for the person 2 seats over there's ear hustling. Hey, person on the train. Yes, danger is on the way, so you gotta get ready. Hello. Sometimes when God let a message come through to us, it ain't even for us. It's for the person on the train behind us that's ear hustling that forgot their headphones. They didn't forget them. God allowed them to not see them so that they could hear on the radio, on the newscast, on the whatever, what they were supposed to hear. Okay? Again, your life is scripted. Don't forget that. It is. It's scripted. You said, okay. It's scripted. Here we go. It says, and he sees the sword coming against the land and blows the trumpet to warn the people. He blows the trumpet to warn the people. How many of you have become the watchman in your circle. How many of you told your family or friends that they needed to get some emergency stuff? That they needed to try to learn to dehydrate food, get some wool blankets, get a couple flashlights, get a way to do this or that, just in case something happened. You did? You did? Told them maybe go to the food pantry and just have a little shelf stable something just in case the power go out and so your food don't spoil. Did you give that message to anybody? You did? You did? Y'all did? How many of you asked somebody to buy a gas mask in the last couple years, or sent them a link, or sent them a class or a video? How many of y'all told somebody to get a gas mask? At least one per person in the house. The ability to exert physical force. Oh, okay. You did. You did. You did. You did. You did. You did. Okay, good job. Okay. You blew the trumpet. Then if anyone hears the trumpet but does not heed the warning, then if anyone hears you say, you should probably get some candles, you should get a way to filter water, you should get, a way to heat your home, you should get some shelf-stable food, you might want to get something that purifies the water, you might want to get a portable toilet, you might want to get some sleeping bags, you might want to get some wool blankets, you might want to get some... That was you blowing the trumpet. Then if anyone hears the trumpet but does not heed the warning, and the sword comes and takes their life, their blood will be on their own head. What does that mean? Tell me what that means. You heard the trumpet, you didn't prepare for it, and then what the trumpet was warning you about happened. If you pass away, it ain't nobody's fault but your own. This is scripture. Did you read it with your eyes? It means what happened to my grandma happened to her. You said when destruction comes, whatever happens to them is going to be on them because they didn't listen. You said you did your part. It's now on them and your hands are clean. That's their problem if they didn't listen. I believe that's what it means. It is. You sent out a warning to a lot of people on your Facebook, Christian Mingle, YouTube, Instagram, backup, IG, your fit stuff. What else my kids got? Your Snapchat, your X account, the family group chat. Did you only blow the horn one time? If you start buying survival stuff when you got here, did you only tell them one time? And I'm not saying just, physically speaking with them. Did you send them a link? Did you send them a class? Did you send them a news article about something saying that the water or this or that? Was it only one time, or did you blow the horn a whole bunch of times? What were you trying to warn them about when you blew these horns? Multiple, till you was tired. You said nope. I told them multiple times, even posted pictures and stuff. I started a whole Bible study group. Then my people start dying. Then I backed up. Wait a minute. The destruction. What day it is? What is about to come? Okay. The end times to be prepared. Okay. So I don't know. I think this makes my heart hurt a little bit because I don't think of any of. You said I don't think any of them do it. Interesting. Okay. All right. I just wanted to see. Okay. It says, since they heard the trumpet, I'm sorry, they heard the sound of the trumpet, but did not heed the warning, their blood will be on their own head. And if they had heeded the warning, they would have saved themselves. He said, my son is a non-believer. He started reading the Bible and praying. Cool. Did you hear that? If you would have listened, you would have been okay. Did God send out a warning in 2019 and 2020 that famine was coming and people was going to be fighting over basic necessities? Did he send a warning that a lot of people were going to be out of work? Did he send a warning that sickness was coming on a mass scale worldwide? Did he warn us that military style management of everyday citizens was about to start in 2019 and 2020? Did he? Because I believe you had to have a paper to travel from one place to another, and if you got caught out, depending on the city, they was even turning people around on the highways trying to travel from one state to another. You could get to a certain place, and the military was there, or the police, and they would say, you can't even get on this highway, you gotta go right here and turn back around and go where you came from. What if I don't got no gas? It don't matter, you can't get no gas here. You gotta try to go up the road and hopefully you make it. I'm 46 years old, and I had not ever seen, even after 9/11, it wasn't governed like that. I was working. We didn't have to have no paper out on the road during 9/11. Did you? I didn't have to. We didn't have to have, there was no curfew when we could be out. We could just be out. You said yes, at the time I was working for Princess Cruises in 2021, and they could not get on the boat. Was that a warning for the world that something was coming? Oh, they couldn't get on without a coat shop. Interesting. Y'all don't think that was a warning for what everything that's happening right now? What did your grocery stores look like where you lived at? Was there fresh vegetables every time you went? Was it meat every time you went? Was it frozen stuff in the cabinets every time you went? Was it bread every time you went? Was it flour and sugar and salt and pepper and canned goods, beans and rice every time you went? Did you have to stand in line ever for some toilet paper? There was barely anything. So I'm going to ask you, did God blow the trumpet that something was coming? And the prices went up, just like now. Was he telling us without telling us, get ready? People's eyes should have flipped open and said, you know what? I'm not going to be standing in another line if something happened. Let me keep specific things here. And at that time, they was giving out everything. You could get help for everything. It didn't matter if you really needed help or not. Baby, they was helping and helping and helping and helping and helping. And people took advantage. This time, those monies are not available. The extras are not here, right? And God told us they wouldn't be. In 22, he said, take a good look at everything that's going on, this frivolous spending, and none of this money's not going to be here next time. Did we talk about that in 22? That the next time these lockdowns and whatever, it ain't going to be a holiday. The people, the VOG, was not going to care about if you had it or not. You was just going to be hungry. And if you love your family, you need to be trying to make sure that you don't have to depend on the VOG to make sure that you and your family can eat and have clean water and things like that. Because that assistance is not going to be here this time. Is that assistance here this time? There's a lot of people out of work. It's a lot of people that can barely afford food. Last time when this happened and people was all out of work and people couldn't afford food, everybody was getting food stamps. Everybody was getting food stamps. This time, you can barely get food stamps. They cutting people off of food stamps. They're cutting people off of WIC. They're cutting people off. They're closing food pantries, which is how a lot of people was getting food during 2019 and 2020 as well. So God sent, and that wasn't just happening in America, it was happening everywhere. There was people in China saying they got tape on our door. Hey, they got tape on our door and we can't even go outside. Our pets are dying. We can't feed our pets. We can't feed ourselves. In different countries, they wasn't even allowed. There was armed guards at the end of certain hallways and buildings in a certain place. And if you didn't already have what you needed in your crib, you was hit because you couldn't even open the door. So God was warning us way back when for something, and he let us know it's going to be worldwide because that was worldwide. You said no help this time. Sorry about the typos. It's okay. You said I deny multiple cases for assistance every day. I do try to help people qualify. See, it's different. I don't know if you was managing cases during 2019, but it was different. It's different now than it was then, ain't it, D? It's not the same. In any assistance, whatever assistance that is, they didn't cut school funding. They didn't cut. We talked about the kids not being able to go to school. Certain kids. You said this pantry in my area had very little last week. Everyone qualified during the pandemic. Interesting. God warned us about this. He said, so while they're giving out the extra, these are the things I need you to buy. Because the next time when I go ahead and I send the sword and I send these things, if you don't already got it, you're going to be it. Because you said now the regulations changes and hardly anyone qualify. Oh, D, thank you for coming to class on today. Did y'all hear that? D said during 2019 and 2020, everybody could. Now the regulations are the exact opposite, which is what God told us in 22, that hardly nobody qualifies. Did he tell us? In 22, we literally talked about it. You said we all make too much money. How do everybody, and people were saying they can barely afford groceries? The math ain't mathing. The economy is worse and everybody make too much money, but they can't afford to even eat. They got to decide between paying a light bill and getting 14 loaves of bread and trying to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the next 16 days for their family because that's all they can afford. The math ain't mathing, honey. Hey. You said, okay. You said no help this time. Sorry. Oh, I got that one. You said, sure did. You said, I have a child with no job and I didn't qualify, so that is true. Oh, okay. Sister, did we talk about in 22? Learning how to make your food stretch. If you make the brownies with the cocoa powder and the flour and the sugar, y'all can have a chocolate cake, you can have chocolate brownie, you can have a chocolate muffin. He was preparing us to pretty much eat the same. We had to change our diets a little bit. Okay? Right. But everybody can't homestead. So you got to do something else. Still got to be ready, whether you in an apartment, whether you in a house, whether you got land, whether you don't. And then the whole thing with that is they about to start doing, what's the name? What do you call it? I can't think of it right now. Where they come and take your stuff. We talk about it here all the time because the government need it like they do in other countries. You said don't waste the money on junk. Buy what you can. That'll make meals. Yeah. All of it. All of it. So God was warning us to be ready. Was he not? Eminent domain. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's keep going. It says, if they had heeded the warning, they would have saved themselves. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people, and the sword comes and takes someone's life, that person's life will be taken because of their sin. But I will hold the watchmen accountable for their blood. So, a lot of people in leadership that didn't want to tell their people that the mark of the beast is real and that we are in a tribulation because they didn't want to scare them. And now people done spent all this money on convocations and councils and youth meetings. But if the powers hit tomorrow, or if we lock down and you can't go to the grocery store or something like that, they don't got nothing in their house. How many people have over 40 days worth of dried, shelf-stable food in their house? For everybody. Like, for everybody to eat 3 times a day, you have enough food if the power goes out and have a way to cook it. Come on. Most people do not have 40 days of meals on the shelf stable. Because think about it, when the power go out, first thing you be worried about is keeping your meat. Well, if the power is out at the gas station, at the grocery store, ain't no ice. Dry ice go fast. That's only gonna last so long. So then people have to try to hurry up and cook all the food that they got in the refrigerator before it go bad. So people have barbecues, everybody putting in when you using all your fuel and you using all your food. When you could have been not necessarily filling up your freezer, but canning, dehydrating, water bathing, all that you can still eat it. But at least if the power goes out or some type of disaster happens where your stuff, you ain't got to worry about all your food going bad, and then you don't have to hurry up and use up all your fuel. And, even if it's some noodles, small meals is something. Come on. How many people you got in your house? And during a disaster, because y'all done seen in Texas, everywhere, Tennessee, anywhere there's been a disaster, anywhere that there's been a disaster, they talking about FEMA ain't coming, this ain't coming, that ain't coming, ain't no help. So then what is you gonna do? Folks talking about they kicking in doors. You won't kick in too many. Okay. You said I pet sit, and when I house sit, majority of my clients don't have hardly anything in their pantry. Girl, did we talk about them big old houses? Them cabinets is empty. I'd rather be in a little bitty something, but to stuff it, I'm fighting it to put it back in. Like I be fighting this clock. Okay, wait. Give me that can right there. No, put it right there, cause it's okay. I'm move, and then you close the door. I'd rather have a little space and that than a big beautiful anything. And I ain't knocking them, but we talked about it. We used to be looking in Blueface cabinet, and it wasn't nothing but some Cheez-Its in there. That's a big old house, $1 million house or whatever. Baby, it didn't used to be nothing in there but Cheetos when his son used to go in there looking for a snack. But it was 79,000 bottles of yak in there. A whole cabinet full. It was the lights and everything under the stairs. You could go in there and get you a little bottle or something. But baby, it wasn't even a can of tuna in that cabinet. And that pantry was empty, and it was big. It was like probably the size of this room, baby. It wasn't a cracker or a pretzel or a can hash or nothing in there. It was twerking women with no drawers on, though, with no food. It wasn't no food in there. And I synced it a couple times. I ain't knocking them because maybe they just order out every day. But what if something happened? You got them kids. You cannot eat, devices, clothing, shoes, bags. If the power were to go out today and not come on for 6 months, understand, if the power goes out, running water does too. There will be no natural gas pushed through your pipes because all of that stuff is on digital timers and stuff. It's all digital. So if the power goes out for 6 straight months, how do you cook? How do you heat through the winter? How do you wash your clothes? How do you flush the toilets? You said I learned from my mama and stay stocked up on canned goods. Come on. How do you do it? How do you live the life you live now without the internet, without power? Okay? What if the grocery stores are closed down and there's nothing in there for 6 months? What do you do? What will your family look like in a week? And then 2 weeks? And then 3 weeks? And think about this. If you can't wash your tail, because think about it, if the power out, stores ain't going to be open. And even if they are, they going to get hit and cleaned out first. So what if it ain't no laundry soap? What you going to do? You know how to make soap at home? Then you got the ingredients to do so. You know how to make toothpaste? You know how to make deodorant? If it ain't none coming over on the boat, where you going to get it? We don't think about that kind of stuff. Okay? You said, sure do. Come on. These are things you need to think about, because if it's not in the store, if it ain't no power. Oh, I got a gas generator. Nigga. Didn't you say they closed the gate of Hormuz and that we ain't got no oil and stuff? And oil is used to make gas, right? Right. Oh, okay, never mind. I just was thinking. Okay. Yeah. I done seen some folks get stabbed at the gas stations when it be the disasters and stuff. Everybody be crazy and tired, and then they wait 3 hours, and then they get up there and no gas, and then they done drove 17 miles to every gas. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna let you go. I know you're busy. You really want to put yourself in that situation to be fighting in a grocery store and people are panicking? If you don't care about you, care about your grandma. You want somebody pushing her down and taking her groceries? Your grandpa? So if you don't want to prep for you and your kids, Because at that time, y'all done seen the movies, they don't care about blowing a nigga down for some groceries if they ain't got none. It is not going to be safe to go to the grocery store in a minute. How niggas be hitting for gold chains and diamonds, teeth, and watches and cars and scat packs and stuff. Oh, yeah, that's about to be for bread. You don't believe me? Let's keep reading. Come on. Here we go. Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So hear the word I speak and give them a warning from me. When I say to the wicked, you wicked person, you will surely die, and you do not speak out to dissuade them from their ways, that wicked person will die for their sin, and I will hold you accountable for their blood. So the pastors that are not telling their people to stock up and their parishioners take the mark because they say, well, I had to feed my family. That blood is going to be on their leaders' hands because God sent a warning to the world in 20 and 22 for people to get ready. Now we're running out of gas. Okay? We read earlier, didn't we, in Ezekiel, that God said, cook your food over dung. And we looked at all of the foodborne illnesses that come from cooking your food over dung. Well, what's on all our food? Dung. Human dung is why we got cyclospora and all of these up. We looked it up today. How many foodborne illnesses come from fecal matter? And almost all of them do. So the same thing that was going on in early Ezekiel, okay, where he was saying, tell them they food about to have mess on it. I ain't gonna be, and then they gonna have to only eat a little bit. Okay, they gonna need and only drink a sixth of a hin of water. When we looked it up, I think it was 2 cups of water, which is 16 ounces. Thank you. Of water. So if every person in your house can only drink 16 ounces of water, which is this, 2 cups, a sixth of a hen every day. This is your drinking water, your cooking water. Everybody say, oh, that's not going to happen. Did y'all see what Bill Gates said a couple weeks ago? That basically a coffee cup full of water could be worth more. I mean, could cost more than a gallon of premium gas. Here go a coffee cup right here. How much is a premium gallon of gas where you live? I know he's the reason, but I'm just saying. How much is 6 to 8 ounces of water? I'm sorry, $4.39. So could you imagine paying $4.39 for half of this bottle of water? Because it's 16.9 ounces and a cup is 8 ounces. And God told the prophet, you only get to drink a bottle of water a day for 390 days. And then 40 something days for the other part of it. Can I ask you a question? What's happening with the world's water supply right now? You said they're $3 in the vending machine now, right? For a 16 ounce. I'm talking about that same price for only this much water. 6 to 8 ounces, not this whole thing. So then that means that this would be almost, it's $7 where you at for $8 for a bottle of water. $8 for 16 ounces. $14 if somebody, you said 707 is how much your gas is where you at. Could you imagine paying $14 for this much water? Huh? It's 707 in the Bahamas. Okay. 6 ounces or 8 ounces of water for $7. So then this would be $14.14 if what the Bible was saying. You said you pay that much for water at an amusement park, right? And this is why people be sneaking water bottles in. It will. Okay. So just think about how much a case of water would cost. If it's 14, okay. I buy cases of water. Case of water like $5 for 24, 36, depending on where you get it from. But if each one of those bottles is $14 or $8, how much are you going to pay for that same case of water? If you got 24 bottles, I'm for real. See, everybody looking at me like I'm crazy, but this is about to happen. It's happening. Okay. Did God not say that He's gonna dry all the rivers up? The rivers are gonna be dry. He said that. That's $336 for a case of water, Rika. Got it. Y'all heard they just put water on the stock market, right? Y'all think they're just going to let it keep being the same price and now it's publicly traded? If you ain't got no money, you're not going to have no water, honey. You said $168 if the bottle is 7 for 24. Oh, okay. Oh, so did y'all think that water was going to stay the same? Yeah, water is publicly traded. It's on the NASDAQ and whatever else you call it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so what I'm telling you is not far and few between, honey. It's not far-fetched. Excuse me. Oh, okay. We read about it earlier, did we not? When God was getting ready to bring the famine and He was getting ready to let the city be besieged. Okay? Right. He said, and the data centers are polluting the water, which is why we need the water filters. Very true. Did He tell us to get them? He did. We have them. You said $9.36, something like that, for 6 ounces. Oh, okay. You said it's public trader. Interesting. See, people think I'm talking crazy, but these are all things. Hello, you can go look up for yourself. But then people don't want to have outrage until it's at the store and it's that price. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. It says, but if you do warn the wicked person to turn from their ways and they do not do so, they will die for their sin, though you yourself will be saved. Here we go. So the man said to the Israelites, this is what you are saying. Our offenses, excuse me, and sins weigh us down, and we are wasting away because of them. How then can we live? Say to them, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I take no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but rather they turn away from their ways and live. Turn from your evil ways. Will you die, people of Israel? I'm just going to say people of the world. He said, I don't take no pleasure in nobody dying. Are you crazy? He said, but if they don't listen, they did it to themselves. I warned them. I warned them with 2019. I warned them with 2020. I warned them with 2021. I warned them with 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. I warned them. And they chose to see and believe what they wanted to. They held the Bible in their hand and they said, I'm a Christian. I go to church. I love Jesus, but you don't believe in him. Because if he said the only way for you to feed your family is to buy or sell, to buy power, to buy water, to buy gas, to buy food. Did you guys hear what the little bald man said the other day? They're getting ready to defund, debank, disrupt, identify, persecute, or prosecute anybody that don't agree. I don't know if you know what debank and defund mean, but you might want to go look it up. Specifically, debank. Definitely look for that. Maybe you didn't hear those words, but you need to go back and watch what he said. Stephen Miller, I think that's his name. Anybody that don't agree with us, we already got an agreement with the banks that we can shut their money off. Huh? That was what, 2 days ago he said it? Don't believe me? Go look it up for yourself. Oh, that means you're under siege. If they can cut all your money off, that, do you realize that's what happens when you're at war? When you surround somebody, you don't let food in. Y'all seen it just happen in Gaza, and it's happening right here in your American streets. Let me go make me some coffee. Ain't that interesting? Go look. Go look at what he said. And definitely look up the definition of debank and defund and disrupt and identify and prosecute. It's a couple other words he said too. And him and the other man, Tom Holman, said it's about to be some bloodshed. Oh, that sounds like a he said Texas purchased 4 surveillance vehicles. Oh, I saw that for over $1 million. I saw that. How you gonna make coffee and you ain't taking your cup with you, girl? And I gotta go to the restroom. That's why I was begging people to get their money out the banks and out of the 401ks and Roth IRAs and stuff back in 22. Because I do that, not to start thumping off people money and they do with it. right, y'all. Sorry about that. Yep. Does this change your view of just living carelessly and blowing money and not thinking about if life were to drastically change? Because people keep thinking it's not, even though it did. Because during 2020, people kept saying, "Oh, they can't lock us down. They can't make us do anything," and they did. They did. Everything that people were saying, that's another country. It's not going on here in America. They're not going to do that. They shut our schools down. They shut McDonald's and stuff. You couldn't go in. Nothing has went back. Very little of that. Now they have really, where a lot of places you can't even sit down in it no more. So for the people that don't know how to cook, if they shut McDonald's down forever and all of that down forever, you said that's only through people compliant. You ain't gonna have no choice. Are you not paying attention what's happening? They shoot niggas down in the middle of the street and it ain't nothing being done about it. And we talked about that too in 22, didn't we? And people said I was fearmonger. I said they gonna shoot them down right in front of your face. And it ain't nothing. You just gonna be out there screaming. And that's exactly, and then it ain't even the police that's doing it. We talked about that very thing, and it's on the news. It's up here, over there, everywhere. Literally. I said you better teach your kids to control their mouth because they're going to be shooting them dead in the street. And what they doing, they finding all kind of people dead everywhere. And ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Folks hanging from trees and all kinds of stuff. You ain't seen nobody pop no police. There's only one nigga that we know of that said what I'm not going to do. And we all round it, Rodney Hinton. Other than that, all these niggas be on here capping. They'll ride through the hood and won't. And I'm not encouraging anything, but a couple of years ago, I said there are drills that need to start being ran for certain areas in certain places. And people said that I said it need to be some, you on the corner, you in the middle of the block, you in the, come on, Rika. Okay? And folks said I was tripping. Well, you about to have them people marching down your streets in a minute. And as you can see, they don't care about taking life. While everybody was out here turning up and doing this and doing that, it should have been a different thing. But anyway, I digress. We're going, here we go. Again, warning came, but because I didn't look like the normal pastor and all of that, nobody listened. But everything that God told me to tell people on this app, on Instagram, on wherever else we can be in, all of it is here. All of it. Watchmen don't look like what y'all think they look like. Anyway. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I didn't. Okay. Therefore, Son of Man, say to the people, if someone who was righteous disobeys, that person's former righteousness will count for nothing. So it don't matter if you used to be saved back in 2005. If you're not living like you have a relationship with God now, you can't get into heaven on what you did in 2005. Did you get that? I don't care how long you've been sitting on a pew. That don't mean you're saved. I don't care how long you've been a part of an organization. You cannot go to McDonald's and say, I paid y'all the last time I came here, I want a burger. You're going to need some money every time. It's the same thing with Christ. You're going to have to be living for him daily. You cannot get into heaven on what you did 20 years ago. Okay? You can't even get into heaven on what you did 5 years ago. You need to be currently living for Christ when he comes back. Okay? You don't get to save up points. It don't work like that. It don't matter what you used to do and how sanctified you was last year. If he come back and get you and you not living in the way that he asked you, not church, he asked you to live, well, righteousness is following God's way and what he tell you, not religion. God told Moses to go out and live in the wilderness. He told him to walk away from his loved ones. Abraham, same deal. These people had to go. David had to leave his loved ones and go live in with King Saul. Okay? That was righteousness because they were following the will of God. Hey. You hear me? Because they could have did whatever they wanted to stay wherever they wanted, but they wouldn't have been in the will of God. And so then you're in disobedience, which means you're not living righteously. Not getting dressed up and shouting and hollering and screaming. You can do all that and still don't do what God tell you to do, and you still gonna bust hell wide open. Hello. Folks don't want to believe it, but it's the truth. Anyway, let's keep going because I know folks don't want to hear that. All right. It says, and if someone who is wicked repents, that person's former wickedness will not bring condemnation. How many of you got over here? Somebody just said it today. Every time I come in class, I found out something. God reminds me of something that I did a long time ago that I need to repent for. And you don't get irritated. You get on it. God, I didn't even know you didn't like that. I didn't even know that was a sin. I didn't even think about it like that. I am sorry. I need you to help me not do that no more. He said, I'm not going, the stuff that you did 20 years ago, if when I come back to get you, you are living in the way that I need you to live, guess what? I'm not holding what you did against you. Because you turned from that. You recognize that I don't like it, and you stop doing it. You stopped doing all that I didn't like, and you started doing what I do like. So then I'm not going to hold you to the penalty of what you did back then. Because you learned that I don't like it, and you stopped doing it. Because you can go to church every day and still be doing everything God don't like. You can go to church every Sunday faithfully. Don't miss a council. Don't miss a convention. Baby, you're there cleaning the church. You're there doing every single thing that you think makes you look like a Christian. And God told you to go feed the homeless or go through your closet and take all them clothes that you can't fit, don't wear, and take them down to the women's shelter. You say, oh, no, I won't be doing that. I got to go clean the church on Sunday. But there was a lady at the women's shelter that said, I would go to church if I had church clothes. She prayed that prayer on Wednesday. You were supposed to be the blessing on Friday evening or Saturday, so that way the next time the church bus comes to the women's shelter to come get them, she will feel comfortable going, because you can't go to church dressed in regular clothes. They look down on you. You can't go to church with dirty clothes on, because they don't like that, even though that's all you have. Nobody will sit by you. You just want to make sure that you're seen in the building, and you don't care if nobody else do. You don't care if nobody else can get there to get the work. That's not your problem, because you're just trying to get there for yourself. even though we're supposed to be fishermen of men. Oh, never mind. Keep going. All right. The righteous person who sins will not be allowed to live, even though they were formerly righteous. If I tell a righteous person that they will surely live, but then they trust in their righteousness and do evil, none of the righteous things that that person has done will be remembered. He said, your righteousness, what you think is Christianity and what I think is Christianity is two different things. Did you just read it with your own eyes right there? He said, your version of saved and what I'm actually requiring from people who follow me don't look nothing like what you think it looked like. Because there are people that sit in religious spaces and they have respect of persons, which means if they don't think you're anointed, they won't even listen to you, right or wrong. If the pastor don't give the approval, baby, they won't hear it. Even if God has sent you to give them a word, they won't hear it. Because you don't have enough anointing and you don't got, and the pastor, and oh, ain't that what happened with the Pharisees and the Sadducees? They wouldn't listen to the disciples or Jesus because Jesus didn't walk around with all that stuff on. And he didn't come riding on a white horse with all the bells and whistles and the soldiers in front of him and all of that. So then they didn't feel like they had to honor him. He didn't have a big old crown on top of his head and a big old cloak on with a staff, even though he got him. It's like the nigga that don't pop out, but he got it. Yeah. He'll go around in work boots every day, baby. Mm-hmm. But when it's time to show up, that nigga gonna shine. He gonna shine. That's where the statement, oh, you clean up good, come from. Right. I would have never expected you to have that right. I would have never expected it. That's how Jesus came in. All the other people that came in and wanted all this reverence, the leaders and all of these people, the officials, they wanted everybody to kiss their feet and worship them like they was God. And they dressed like that so that they would get the respect from men. Respect from people, the honor for, oh, look at me, I'm dressed like a minister. Don't you see I'm a minister? Don't you see I have this Jesus fish on the back of my car? Don't talk around me like that. Show me one time where Jesus was in the hood and he corrected somebody on their speech and it wasn't a Pharisee or a Sadducee. Do you think Jesus had virgin ears? Do you think Jesus had? He didn't. Why didn't Jesus have virgin ears? He constantly corrected the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He didn't have, right. He didn't have virgin ears because he could hear everybody's thoughts in the room. So the man that was looking at the woman that lust on her, the woman that was looking at the man, the person that was laughing in their face and saying in their mind, I hate you really, kiki, I plan on killing you and you don't know tonight is your last night. He heard the person that said, I don't want to live, that's sitting over there in the corner by themselves while everybody is laughing and joking. He could hear every single thought of every single person, not just in the spaces where he was, but we just gonna use the room. So when Jesus was asking people a specific question, he already knew the thought they had before he asked the question. So why is it that Christians demand more respect than Jesus when they go around so-called sinners? Your Holy Ghost, right, should make them feel uncomfortable without you having to say anything that they shouldn't speak or act in a certain way. You shouldn't even have to ask for the respect, because the Bible says, and God tells us, that I show up, and if I send you to a place, I show up. I show up before you get there. I went in and cased the joint before I sent you. Literally, one of his homeboys had a foul mouth, did he not? Y'all think he just slipped up and cussed in front of Jesus just one time? Jesus specifically picked him. So y'all think that he didn't know that that nigga cussed like a sailor when he got him and asked him to come and follow him? Do you think he didn't know? That's why he picked him. It is. Here we go. I need y'all to skip down. We're just gonna get past this because it's late. I'm about to let y'all go. I need y'all to go down to verse 21 real quick. And y'all know the rest of that story. He said, if you was evil and you're not evil no more, I got you. If you was righteous and then you turn evil, you on your own. And vice versa. Y'all know the rest of that. We gonna get to this 21 right here. It says, in the 12th year of our exile, in the 10th month on the 5th day, so that would be our October 5th, but we know in the Jewish calendar it's a little different. A man who had escaped from Jerusalem came to me and said, the city has fallen. Okay? They in there tearing up everything, unaliving folks, burning down buildings, ruining things. This is what he came back and said, okay? The city is fallen. They've taken siege. They've got in. They got through the doors. It's a wrap, okay? Now the evening, before the man arrived, the hand of the Lord was on me, and he opened my mouth before the man came to me in the morning. How many times has God warned you about something before it happened? Can you count how many times he's warned you before it happened? And then the next day, an hour later, 6 hours later, you say, something told me this is. Hmm. Can you even count the times that you were mad at yourself because you didn't listen? Because God told you, don't drive, don't go over there, take a different route, don't spend the money, don't let the person in your house, don't go to the family reunion, whatever it is. And you chose to not listen. But exactly what he told you, it happened. The person showed up, the situation showed up, whatever else it is. So clearly throughout this whole message, we see God gave warnings that disaster was coming, that something was about to happen, that you're not living like you used to live. And if you don't change, cost me 2 years of pure struggle and heartache. Come on. So why we be so mad at God when something bad go wrong? When 9 times out of 10, he sent a warning. He sent a watchman. He sent your grandma to tell you, you better leave that girl alone. You better leave that boy alone. That's not your friend. Okay? Send somebody at the job to say that's probably not the person you want to get close to, because pretty much everybody that they've been around, they cause trouble when the person gets fired, and they're probably not going to let them go because that's the boss's wife, boss's kid. Warning comes. Oh, well, I don't care how. Oh, okay. Well, you're right. Interesting. Hey, pumpkin. Okay. Anyway. All right. He said, and he opened my mouth before the man came to me in the morning. So my mouth was opened and I was no longer silent. Then the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, the people living in those ruins. Why does this keep doing that? The people living in those ruins in the land of Israel are saying Abraham was only one man, and yet he possessed the land, but we are many. Surely the land has been given to us as our possession. Therefore say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Since you eat meat with the blood still in it, and look to your idols and shed blood, should you then possess the land? You rely on your sword. You do detestable things, and each of you defiles his neighbor's wife. Should you possess the land? How many of y'all let them convince you that you're supposed to eat a steak rare? Even though God said blood is sacred and you are not supposed to take that in, because there is a lot of pathogens and sickness that is in the blood of animals and people. What's the disease you get when you be drinking human blood and stuff and eating human flesh? What's it called? What's it called? What they said Ellen got and a few other folks. Kuru. Ain't it called Kuru? Or something like that? Mm-hmm. All of them do. You can't be in the club if you don't. Them and the people in Hollywood. Now they telling you to overcook everything. Cook it past the eggs, cook everything, overcook it. Because it's so much mess in it, you got to try to kill all the everything in it. Interesting. Say this to them. This is what the sovereign Lord says. As surely as I live, those who are left in the ruins will fall by the sword. Those out in the country I will give to the wild animals to be devoured, and those in strongholds and caves will die of the plague. A plague, excuse me. I will make the land a desolate waste, and her proud strength will come to an end, and the mountains of Israel will become desolate, so that no one will cross them. Then they will know that I am the Lord, when I have made the land a desolate waste, because of the detestable things they have done. When I have made, excuse me. Do that sound like a fluffy God to you? He said, I'm about to make the land desolate. Can y'all tell me what's happening right now in all the world? Are we seeing desolation? Are we seeing abominations? We're seeing desolation. Can you tell me the definition of that word before we get off here, and I'm going to let y'all go? What's the definition of desolation? Or desolate? What's the definition of that? I got one more thing here at the end. I'm sorry. What's the definition? Left alone and abandoned. Interesting. Uninhabited. A state of complete emptiness, destruction, or ruin. A state of complete emptiness, destruction, or ruin. Do you think that that's what the world is seeing right now? Earthquakes, floods, droughts. I said this earlier, and I don't know if it got into this class or not. But again, and some of y'all might already know this. Who's heard the scripture about the Euphrates? If you've heard the scripture about the Euphrates drying up and then the armies are going to march over it, I don't know if you know this or not, but the Euphrates is shaped like the Omega sign. It's in the shape of the Omega sign. If you didn't know. The very river that God said is going to signify that we're at the end is shaped in the symbol of the end. Ain't that crazy? Such as overwhelming grief, loneliness, or hopelessness and despair. Interesting. Oh, desolation refers to a state of complete emptiness, destruction, or bleak isolation. It describes both physical devastation, like a barren wasteland or ruined landscape, and deep emotional states, such as overwhelming grief, loneliness, and hopeless and despair. Did y'all know? For real. When you get time, go look up the Euphrates and from aerial view and see what shape it is. It's in the shape of an Omega sign. Omega is the end, is it not? And he said when the Euphrates dry up, it's gonna be some armies marching over it. Why would he make the Euphrates in the shape of the Omega sign? And the Omega means the end, and that clearly signifies that we're at the end. You see how he just put the little details in there? It's interesting. Here we go. As for you, son of man, your people are talking together about you by the walls and at the doors of their houses, saying to each other, come and hear the message that has come from the Lord. My people come to you as they usually do, and they sit, my ears ringing, and they sit before you to hear your words, but they do not put them into practice. You know how many people came to this class in 22 and 23 and 24? It's still ringing. That's interesting. It's still ringing. You know how many people came to this class in these years? Huh? And God told them, hey, get some survival stuff, get some extra food, get some. And they didn't listen. They chose to be like, that lady is tripping. I ain't buying no water purification. I'm not buying no gas mask, nigga, for what? There will be no reason. The air quality is just fine. And then it wasn't. And then the water was so toxic. You listen. Come on. Come on. You said, I'll listen. I got me a gas mask. I don't know. If nobody, you said, wow, it sure does. Ain't that crazy? How he do little stuff like that? It look just like it. It's a sign for the end. People are like, I need a sign. The Euphrates is drying up, and it's in the sign of the end. It literally is the sign of the end, and it's in the shape of Omega, which means the end. So yeah, that's all the sign you need, I guess. Crazy how he put that little doop-de-doo in there, ain't it? Real crazy. Here we go. Um, last part of this. All right. It says, my people come to you as they usually do and sit before you to hear your words, but they do not put them into practice. Their mouths speak of love, but their hearts are greedy for unjust gain. Indeed, to them you are nothing more than one who sings love songs with a beautiful voice and plays an instrument well. For they hear your words, but do not put them into practice. When all of this comes true, and it surely will, they will know that a prophet has been among them. Hey. So there are people that came here and they saw me doing my skits and all of that kind of stuff and laughing and joking and all of that. Guess what? They thought it was just a performance. Whole time. When I was running to the window talking, oh, they fighting over bread. They fighting over bread. Putting the sack on my back talking about, well, let's get our stuff and we're going to have to move on over here. All of that, people thought they, I kept telling you, I said, this ain't entertainment. You about to see in a minute. And I'm not saying it like I said. I'm telling y'all, God told me to come tell y'all as a watchman what was coming almost 5 years ago. And I've been still pretty much every day that I'm on here. You said I had some stuff. I had to move and lost a lot. That's happened to a lot of people. Keep on stocking, keep going to the food pantries because they about to close them food pantries, y'all. Y'all don't believe it, but it ain't about to be nothing. It's not about to be anything there. And they cutting food stamps off. You heard what the baby just said. Dee said she have to deny people pretty much every day. During 2020, everybody got approved. Now hardly nobody gets approved. God told us that was going to be happening. All of it. So it's crazy. God said He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. You said, "Yep, I'm planting my seeds." Hopefully, you plant them inside, cause they gonna be spraying them outside. Yeah. Anyway, I'm about to go. I don't know if I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow or not. We shall see. Oh, I did want to play this. Hold on. All right, guys. Very important update. We have a worldwide. This was 4 hours ago. Caution alert. We know the U.S. has confirmed that they are striking Iran right now for the 8th consecutive day. U.S. officials have said that these new strikes will be much more extensive and larger than previous nights, and to follow Trump's orders on opening the gates of hell on Iran. It's been reported, and to follow Trump's orders on opening the gates of hell on Iran. Much more extensive and larger than previous nights, and to follow Trump's orders on opening the gates of hell on Iran. It's been reported today by several sources that Trump said that tonight they're going to open the gates of hell on Iran, which was reportedly in response to the strikes on Jordan last night, where Iran struck this base in Jordan, taking the lives of at least 2 U.S. service members. There's new footage about an hour ago of tanks being moved to southern Iran. The U.S. Department of State issued a worldwide caution alert, saying that due to an hour ago of tanks being moved to southern Iran, the U.S. Department of State issued a worldwide caution alert, saying that due to heightened tensions in the Middle East, the security environment remains complex, with the potential of unforeseen escalations. The Department of State advises security environment remains complex, with the potential of unforeseen escalations. The Department of State advises Americans worldwide, especially in the Middle East. The Department of State advises Americans worldwide, especially in the Middle East, to exercise increased caution. They also said groups supportive of Iran may target other U.S. interests overseas or locations associated with the United States and or Americans throughout the world. I'll update you again tonight. Please stay safe. All right, guys, very important update. We have... That was 4 hours ago. Did you know? You gonna open up the gates of hell? Ain't that in Revelation? That the abyss was gonna open up and it was a spirit that was gonna come out of there. basically the abyss is like the gates of hell, if we were to say. And it was going to wreak all. I wonder why he chose those specific words. I wonder why. Interesting. I think that's a very interesting choice of words that they use. It's real interesting that they use those specific words. Open up the gates of hell. Interesting. After CERN closed down. Got it. Right. Interesting. Anyway, I'm about to go. I hope you got your listening ears on. And you said then people gave him, didn't the people give him 3 days to stop? Mm-hmm. They did. So I love y'all. And I don't think that the fires and stuff that we see, again, there's all different types of warfare. People just think warfare is bombs. It's not. It's stopping food supply chains and stuff too. It's messing up the water supply. It's putting boo-boo on your vegetables. It's poisoning the water supplies. Stop it. So you gotta handicap the city first. You gotta handicap the country first. And then it makes people want to bend to your will. Interesting. So, okay. Talk to y'all.